Hello everyone, my name is José Silva Jr. and I'm a senior designer and photo editor here at Wonderful Machine. Today we'll be taking a look at Trinidad Tobago-based photographer Maria Nunes' website. Maria is a social documentary photographer whose work focuses on Caribbean cultural heritage, and through long-form visual storytelling, she documents people, tradition, communities, and cultural practices across that region. And when you first connected with Maria, we talked about refreshing the presentation of her portfolio and organizing her work in a way that better reflects the depth of her projects. So this is a great example of a portfolio where the photography itself is already solid and the biggest opportunity lies on the editing and presentation. As photographers build a larger bodies of work over time, it becomes increasingly important to organize those projects so visitors can easily understand the stories behind them. And our process always starts with a conversation about the photographer's goals, the audience they're trying to reach, and how they want the work to be perceived. So once we've established that direction, every editing decision supports that vision. In Maria's case, we are thinking about how someone experiences her portfolio for the first time and make sure that the work is presented clearly and also confidently. Looking at her current website, the photography is engaging and demonstrates Maria's ability to tell compelling stories. However, I don't think the current website template is doing the work justice. The navigation is not intuitive as it could be, and with several projects presented together, it can be difficult for visitors to understand the overall structure of the portfolio and go from one project to another. I'm also noticing that a few repeated images, some sequences that could be tied up, and a handful of photographs that interrupt the flow. So for this edit, my focus will be on refining the image selection, improving the sequencing, and creating a clear overall organization that allows every body of the work to stand on its own, but also contributing to have like a stronger and cohesive portfolio. So the goal is to highlight Maria's strongest images, give each project the space as it deserves, and better communicate her visual style and documentary approach. Alongside the portfolio edit, our designer Inés Figueiras will also be working on the website design, creating a presentation that complements the photography and makes the portfolio easy to navigate. So I'm gonna dive into the edit now, and I'll be back shortly to walk you through the changes, the thinking behind them. So I'll see you in a bit. Hello, José here, and today we're gonna dive into Maria Nunes' web edit. So when you're looking at her new website, the thing that we're most proud of is the new clarity and structure we were able to bring to her work. Before, the portfolio was a collection of strong images, but the organization did not fully communicate the depth and variety of her practice. So now the website presents her work in a way that feels more intentional, allowing visitors to better understand the stories. So one of the biggest changes was reorganizing the portfolio structure. So we create specialty galleries for carnival, documentary, music, and places, and we carefully considered the sequencing within each one. So at first, we thought about merging documentary and carnival, but because carnival is such an important part of Maria's identity, we decided that it deserves its own space, and we place it first in the portfolio drop-down menu. We also create a dedicated projects page, so users can now explore each of them individually rather than only seeing separate images. And in addition, we create a published page to showcase how Maria's work has been used and shared, including tear sheets and example of her work appearing like in different contexts. For the image editing, we focused on creating a strong stronger narratives by removing repetition, shortening some projects, and selecting images that best represented Maria's vision. We also rearranged images to strengthen storytelling and create a more immersive experience, making sure that each project had a clear rhythm and direction. And then a little bit about the design perspective. Inej worked on improving the overall user experience by making the navigation more intuitive and the galleries more visually engaging. So the galleries now initially display thumbnails, giving visitors an overview of the work, but users can also click and expand images and view them in a larger format. When expanded, captions appear and that adds more contacts and connects the images to their stories. So, throughout the process, Maria was closely involved through discussions, feedback rounds, and sharing new ideas and images. So this collaboration really helped us understand what was the most important in her practice and how to represent that authentically in a better way. So the biggest takeaway for Maria was learning to think of her portfolio as a collection of projects and narratives rather than just individual images. After this edit, the portfolio now communicates a stronger sense of identity, confidence, and purpose. It also highlights Maria's documentary voice, her Caribbean perspective, and also presents her work in a way that feels more professional and accessible to her target audience. So that was it. I hope you like it, and I'll see you soon.